Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start this session by introducing our guest speaker for today, Sukanya. Sukanya's liking for storytelling enhanced after she entered the field of design. She's an urban storyteller and enjoys putting her work in front of people through animation, illustrations, and wall murals. Her master's in animation film design from NID Ahmedabad helped her explore her creative side. Her art mostly consists of surreal imagery and magic realism with a blend of vivid colors and dynamic perspective. Sukanya practices independent filmmaking and is working in the industry for the past 3 years. I request Sukanya to take over.
Good afternoon, everybody. So let's start off. I thought of making a presentation and doing it in that way, but after that I realized that becomes very monotonous after a point. So I have a lot of things to show you. So let's start off with this very informally, if I say. So without a presentation, so I'd like to start it with showing my film, which I recently completed in 2021, few months back, and it started from NID. So it took me a long time to complete it, and but ultimately I'm happy with the results. It is 2D hand-drawn animation, and each frame has been drawn in sheets, animated, and after that I did an inking process, and after that digitally we have colored it some parts, and then the sound design part was done. So the journey was long. So let's start off with that because it has some relevance to my student days. So it will be easier for you guys to connect. And after that, I'll come on to my present work and what I am doing now, recently what I have done. But if I can show you the journey of how it began and how my work were during my NID days, I think that will be an interesting way to start. So let's share my screen with you to show you my film. And after that, we are going to discuss about it a little. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought it was not audible. So let us talk about this film. So this film started in the year 2016, ideally. The year I joined NID. I joined in 2015, and by the end of 2015, I started doing the pre-production part of the film, and it started with a very basic journey. So the film talks about how a girl encounters death for the first time in life, and as a child the idea of death is very new and as a concept, and ideally our parents or our family give us a very vague answer to whatever has happened. So during my childhood, I lost my grandfather, who was really beloved, and suddenly I don't see him coming to our house anymore, and I don't see him around. And one sudden day, I see all these incidents happening. And that time, I was really tiny to understand all this, what is going on. So I asked my parents, my mother especially, and my grandmom, what is happening? Where did grandfather go? So I'll just quickly share my screen with you to show you the journey. Okay, yes. So it was like a classroom assignment, as I told you, in NID, and this is how it started. I made the character design of the girl way back in 2015, where things were not even the idea of making a film was there. So we had a display, and on that I presented this idea, and then my guide liked it, and after that we started, and it became a film after so many, and completed it after so many years. So it was a long film. It took me 4 minutes to complete it, to tell the entire story. So that if I tell the story is the girl don't understand what is going on, and as she asks her grandmother, she tells her that the soul leaves the earth and goes to the sky and becomes a star. So that explanation, I don't think, was not enough for me, and the question remained in my mind: ki, how could that happen? Like, if I just die now, can I go and become a star? So then she tried to explain it to her own ways, but still that fear of whatever I saw happening was somewhere there, and it was unaccepted by me and my own little brain. I don't know why. So I kept on thinking about it. Where did he go? Where did he go? And one point of time, I started, visualizing this monster maybe who has taken it away. Somebody told me, ki, हाँ, कोई लेकर चला गया, like that. So all these things were there. And when we got this assignment to do, I thought about this story because it was really still now not solved in my mind. And then I realized a lot more things about life and how things it happens. So whenever you make a story for a film or for a book, ideally we see that we have a hero, and that hero or our main protagonist, he or she goes through a journey, and that journey takes them. This is formulated by Joseph Campbell, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. If you read this book, it will be helpful for you to understand how things work while telling a story. So I am a very diligent or passionate storyteller, and that is how I see myself. So if the story is not working out, then no matter how much effort you put on to make the rendering or to add on more effects and sound, nothing seems to work at the end, because the story is the key element of anything, maybe an illustration to a book to a film. So what I was talking about was the hero's journey. So it is very nicely explained here. So there are two kinds of worlds: the special world and the ordinary world, and all our protagonists or all our heroes belongs to the ordinary world first, and after that they get some kind of a call to adventure, and then he or she refuses the call or takes the call, and then they meet the mentor who guides them somewhere towards their journey. Then they finally cross the final threshold of the ordinary world to the special world, and they reach the special world, and his or her ability are tasted by the enemies, the allies, and the friction starts happening, and the hero gradually understands how much he needs to be in order to deal with his problems and to encounter it. So after that, he approaches the ordeal or the death or the rebirth. So this is where the final fight between our hero and the villain, or hero or the antagonist, happens, where the hero has to fight it, the main dragon period or the main dragon moment. Then the hero gets a reward. If he wins, like Super Mario gets the princess, Harry Potter gets the stone. So they finally gets the reward after the ordeal or after the main final battle. Then comes the road back home or to the ordinary world, and resurrection. So he realizes something, and after the hero has gone through this entire journey of self-discovery, crossing the threshold, fighting with his enemies, making allies, beating the final dragon, and getting the reward, he finally comes back with his newfound knowledge to the previous ordinary world. And that is how all our hero's journey basically takes place. So this is an external hero's journey, and I have one more this thing of the internal hero's journey. So for this story, if you consider the girl to be the main protagonist or the hero of the story, she goes through an internal hero's journey rather than an external hero's journey. So her fear turns into a monster, and she has to answer that, and somehow she fights her fear and gets back to her final world with a proper answer, maybe what she was looking for. So that is how this story was written. So in general, when we see this kind of any kind of story, it is easy for our hero somewhere or the other to beat the villain and get back the whatever he or she is looking for. But what do you do in case the antagonist or the villain is dead? Is death himself, and the person that you are looking for is dead? How do you bring them back? That is not physically possible, right? So that is why the story, building the story to whatever it is today, was like a enormous effort and an enormous thinking process. And I took help of a lot of mentors, a lot of guide to, you know, get this thing somewhere structured, because beating death is literally impossible. So how do you do that? So everything changed from internal journey to from an external journey to an internal journey. And and then finally the goal. So these are my mentors who has helped me out. Shekhar Mukherjee was my guide. Then we have Shaz Ahmed, PC Sanat, and Kaustav Ray, who really helped me out to figure out the story, because the story was really this thing too difficult for me at that stage of time. Then we have the medium. I chose pen and ink. So this is how. And there is a holder, and there are different kinds of nibs available that you can use to get different kinds of textures. So I was that time very inclined with hand-drawn animation, and my illustrations were also very hand-drawn, and I tried to explore the medium as much as possible, and I used pen and ink as a medium. And these were my team, so they helped me out executing the thing. So I have my sound designer, my voiceover artist Reshmi and Srijit, who helped me out in writing the final script. And so this is how the film has evolved with the help of these many people as well as my friends. And this is how my current studio looks. This is a very haywire PDF. Don't judge me for that. I'm not good with making PDFs. So this journey happened, and I learned a lot from my failures, whatever I went through in those days. And finally, the film came through this year, and we screened it online, and tickets were sold, and a lot of people actually were really interested to see our film. So we were a group of 6 people, and we went to this social media platform. We made this a public, a live thing, and there was a particular date where when our film was screened, and it was really a very amazing experience how the film ended and how the film began, although it took me a lot of time to get there. But this journey was really very important for me, and to learn different things and completing it was also really nice. So the next thing that I would show you is my sketchbook illustrations that I used to do every day on my sketchbook during my NID day. So I used to draw one drawing a day, one illustration a day, and that is how I completed 3 more. So I will show you the entire sketchbook because that will a lot of time. I will show you some of my works from the sketch because these works also have a journey behind them, and they finally are realized in a way. I'll talk as well. So these are first few sketches that I had. Sorry. Yes. That I used to do during my NID days. So this is done with brush pen, and I was a very, as I told you, very hands-on person. Still now I am a very hands-on person. So I explored as many mediums as I could, and I tried to incorporate them in each of my work that I used to do in my sketchbook. So every illustration has a story behind it, and it was like a journal by itself that I started maintaining, and it really became very helpful as I could see the growth in my work. And it was like your personal diary, which don't judge you no matter for whatever you try to uh, express. So it was really a very kind medium, and still now I carry my sketchbooks around wherever I go to draw whatever I feel at that particular time. So again, I try to do a mini series of 6 illustration with purple and ink, black ink. So whatever I saw, whatever I got inspired from, I tried to explore that in my sketchbook and try to, see whether I can work in that style or not. So that was the basic idea of maintaining this. So a few live sketches. This is the series that I was talking about. Yes. Yes. So this brings me almost to the end of our sketchbook. So this is NID Garba. It's a really colorful and beautiful festival. So I maintained my sketchbook every day, and I tried to finish these drawings. So I used to name them and start painting on them. So all of them, if you see, are very different mediums and very colorful, because I really like the colors that I see around, and India is a very colorful country in that way, to look around the colors that you see around us. I don't want to show you uh, everything because it will take us a lot of time. So a little bit. So this I did now a few last year when Corona was happening, and yeah, that brings us to the end of this. Then I explored different background colors in order to make my illustrations more interesting. So I chose a gray background, and that also helped me out to bring out different styles more vividly. So these are all everyday drawings. Sorry, my cat is really disturbing me at the moment, and I don't know what to do. Okay. So my sketchbook, it is not only, concept art and all these things. I practiced, I did live sketch, I explored them as in all the ways possible. And I'll show you some of my recent works because those are too old, I feel. So my sketchbook. So as I grew up, the material that I explored also changed, and slowly and gradually, I started getting my own style, and now I feel that I have achieved somewhat of a personal style. So even if I don't write my name or say it is made by me, people do generally understand that this is done by me. So that is like a really a nice thing that has happened, and I think we all want that to happen. So that will only happen if you practice every day and dedicate yourself for making your skill better. So yeah, so this is my recent work, and I went to Madhya Pradesh. There do this. Then this was also one of the recent works. So wherever I go, I try to carry my sketchbook around because I really feel that it helps me to keep a track of my life as well as to bring out whatever I'm seeing. Yes. So what I was talking about was how I got more interested into murals because somewhere murals or street art started, coming together with animation, and we made screen share करने का है मेरे को. So we made a animated trailer for Chitrakatha 2017, and so we painted on an entire house, and that is how the trailer was. So I would like to show you that a little bit. Yes.
Dongita takita takita dongita dongita takita takita dongita dongita tagadong tagadit tang tagadong tagading tang tagadong tagatarigita tagadong tarigita.
Yes. So yes. So this was the first, I used to do it during my childhood, but I never took it seriously, and I never thought, okay, I want to do that. But this was the inception when wall mural clashed with animation, and I worked on this project, and it was really fun working there. And after that, I started painting murals on the street, and slowly I developed my skills on that. So I will show you some of them from here because yeah, so these were the few murals that I have made. So it's in Ahmedabad, it's in Bangalore, it's in Calcutta, it's in Varanasi, it's in Bombay. So it has been a long journey here as well. So I don't know whether this is the right way of showing you or not, because this is very, yeah. So I painted on a bus stop. This was the Chitrakatha promo. Then I painted some more in Ahmedabad. I painted a rickshaw in Calcutta, those hand-pulled rickshaws. More from Calcutta. This is in Varanasi. I went for a family vacation and then I saw this beautiful wall and I thought of painting this. Then this is in Bangalore. I worked on a commission project of painting on a truck, food truck. Then again in Bangalore, this is a mural made for Women's Day, celebrating Women's Day. And this is again in Bangalore. HT work clock factory, a museum. So I made a mural inside the museum, and still now my mural journey continues. And recently I have painted with Bollywood art project. I think that some of you might be familiar with it. And the most exciting experience was to paint a 50 feet by 50 feet wall. So that was like the biggest canvas that I have ever painted, and that was huge. So those experiences were also very enriching, and I'll show you. I cannot show you that because it is not aired still now, but the Bandra one is open, which we did together in Bandra, Chapel Road. That is also with Bollywood Art Project. So you can check that out in Instagram. And then I opened up. I thought of making videos so that people started asking me how to do murals and what colors do I use and all these things. So I opened my own YouTube channel to talk about those stories as well. So I'll show you a little bit of that as well. So if you see here, there are a lot of murals that you can see. The recent ones, which is not there in the book that I showed you. So these are, you can see the entire process of how the mural is made I'll show you the entire thing. So from the wall to start painting on it.
I made a rough layout of what I'm going to paint.
And how do I
first,
do it?
And the color palette as well before painting it here.
So you have to see the
In the
walls,
beginning, when I was deciding about
the highlights and the shadows.
The
so it is
and use red,
it has
blue,
its
and
own
green for the
story.
highlights and shadows. Then I felt that is how we have seen the heart forever.
These are also there
Behind this writing heartless along with the art. Well, I have said enough. I will let you enjoy the process and join you.
Yeah, I cannot show you that. So yes, so I started making these videos in YouTube, and I used to go out, paint, record it, come back home, make it into a video. So that was also it became a little challenging for me to make them, because it took a lot of time, as I realized. And previously I really didn't think deep into it while I was doing it, and I thought, video, let's just make videos, what is the thing in it? But when you actually do it, you understand how much it takes to make a video complete, with sound, with everything. So I still do it, I still make them, but I don't know, I'm not that regular in it, because it doesn't, like, after so much of work, of working, of animating every day and illustrating and doing the daily chores of life, it becomes a little challenging, but I still try to make videos. So I have made almost more than 20-25 videos, and after that I stopped for a bit, but I think I will go back there again. So yeah, so that is how I used to share my murals with people. And recently, as I told you, I have worked with few big industry names, and that was really a very nice experience for me, and I learned a lot. And finally coming and ending this session with, I would like to show you my current show reels. So that will talk about more about how my work has developed from what it was, the first film that I showed you, to what it is right now. And one more secret project I'll show you, which is not aired yet. So these are the last two things that I would like to show you. Let me share my screen. Yes, so that was a glimpse of my current work and how my animation style shifted and what all mediums I have explored over the years. So currently, the last project that was hand-drawn animation was in December, and I went to Madhya Pradesh in SPS community. There we were animating in light boxes again. But now we generally use digital tablets to draw frame by frame. So if you can see them now, it looks very different from what it was before. And the present ones are even more different. So these works are, the showreel is still last year. So if you look at now what is happening, it is even more different. So it has grown into an entire journey, and I can see myself develop, which is like a really good thing, because no matter whatever age I become, I always want to, grow and update myself. And I think that is one thing that I would really like to do. So yes, I think that is one more last thing I will show you. I don't know whether it is going to work or not. I'll show you very quickly. So this is a recent thing that I have just started 2 days back. Yes, this is the problem with Instagram here. I just rotate it. Yes, so I have started with a merch page where I'm selling my art in different ways possible, from pouch bags to bookmarks to postcard. So this is what more you can do after you have a bunch of illustrations with you. And I am working for this chimeric sphere team, and we are going to paint a mural after a few days in Bangalore in a flyover. So this is one of the recent interesting projects that I would like to talk about. And yeah, so this is the wall that I was talking about that we were painting a few days back in Bandra. So I don't have full pictures, I'm really sorry. Yes, so this is all I had to show. Now I feel that it's time I answer your questions. Yes. Hello, Shreya.
I have a question that what was your thinking behind the title A Blot in the Blue?
Actually, it was like an old memory, right? So I tried to give that effect through using the ink spills. And during my childhood, till then, people used to write with fountain pens. So during my childhood, I have written with fountain pens, and every time ink used to blot here and there. And I really liked that process, and I just wanted to replicate that and use that to keep that essence somewhere. So yes.
Oh, I get.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, please.
In your illustrations, where do you get your inspiration from? Because I can see that there is a particular style in those illustrations, especially the murals. So where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, so I get my inspiration from everyday stories, that I'll say, because every day something or the other happens to us, which is very realistic and which is part of our day. But if you analyze, there are some things which are really absurd, which still happens to us, and we really don't know what is the reason behind it. So I don't see crocodiles on my way though, but somewhere I see crocodile, right? Whenever I'm scrolling in Instagram. So somehow it all connects, and I try to make it out into one particular illustration, and then reduce it when making a mural, because murals really have less elements to it. It is like one particular element which is telling all the stories. So yeah, so the basic thing that inspired me is, before sleeping at night, maybe I think about what has happened the entire day, and I try to remember what are the most attentive visuals that is there in my brain that has captured, and from there I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, so that is how it happens.
I also really love the way you have used those colors. It's like, I mean, if you see it, you cannot, unsee it. And it's like, it's catchy. It's really nice. I really liked your work.
Not neon, it's very high contrast, it is very low contrast. So yeah, I from my childhood I was a very colorful person, and if you see my hair also, it is also very colorful. So everything is colorful around me, from my background to everything. So I try to really use that in my work, and automatic, like, that is a really a challenging thing for me. Whenever I try to draw black and white, that time I am a little confused, and I feel like are color kar dete. But I try to do that as well, to understand light and shadow and how things work, and then do other sets of colored illustration where I use whatever I have learned there and here, and then match them up together. And yes. So that is how it happens.
Thank you for answering.
Yes.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
So I wanted to ask you that what was that one thing that you would say that got you into filmmaking and design part of, like, choosing design as your career?
As I'm from Calcutta, I won't say I was forced, because my family liked art from my father to my grandfather. My grandfather was a jewelry designer. So they had that thing about art. I was not forced, but from my childhood, I was given a lot of colors and a lot of things to draw with. It all started. I don't know. And the first film I saw was Lion King ever, and that thing as you know, the first film is always the first film, right? So I couldn't forget how it was done and how the story revealed and how it was shown. So still now, whenever I see Lion King, I still feel that, and from then I wanted to make animated films. I tried making live action films as well, but उसमें मेरे को उतना मजा नहीं आया. Like I didn't enjoy it that much. So I went back because there you cannot color people, right? Like you can make them like this, but yeah, so it didn't work out basically. और उसमें उतना surrealism चलता भी नहीं है. मतलब it is not easy to do that in live action. So that is why I feel that animation gives me that space to show me all these weird things very easily, ऐसे फटक से. So yeah, so that is why I feel that I chose filmmaking.
Ma'am, I have
Yes.
one. That first, when you showed your sketchbooks, it was all hand drawn, and then this film was animation. So how was it different? Like, what did you feel was better? Were you comfortable more on like hand drawing or digital work?
Yeah, so this was like a very challenging thing for me. When all my peers started doing digital art, that time also I was making films hand drawn. Okay, I was like so into hand drawn that I never wanted to change that, and I was very very comfortable to do it. और मेरे से बहुत जल्दी हो जाता था. And I thought that अरे digital art will take a lot of time और ये सब उतना software भी नहीं आता था यार सच में बोलूँ तो. That point of time I was very and I was not open minded, I feel, about these mediums like the software. So I jitna bhi ho paye I tried to avoid it, but then somebody explained it to me ki why don't you consider the digital art as a medium, digital as a medium, rather than thinking ki are software and digital art and all those things. If you just see ki watercolor jaisa hi hai, but it is just in a different way I have to do it. So, okay, that is how I started slowly and gradually. And in the beginning, I was not that comfortable. And then I kept on working. But then I saw ki the brightness that a digital illustration has is way beyond that what we do with pen and paper. So, or abhi mere ko, I'm like used to it and I can do it very fast. And I don't feel ki haan mere ko software mein jaake I'm doing a digital art. It is just like I'm drawing and somewhere maybe it's in a tablet or maybe it's on paper. So I don't, I have made myself to think in a different way so that I don't feel that array software and all those extra things that we feared. And even that was also my fear as well. And I faced that challenge a lot. And after that, I won't say I have shifted, but I have explored this side as well.
It's like another beginning.
Yeah, I'm still now, jump around here and there. But now
And
that
by the way,
know it has become better. Yeah, tell me.
by the way, I love your colors. Like you, even I love colors and colorful paintings.
Yeah, it really feels good. Like, and now we are talking about color therapy and how it helps people. But previously we didn't think about so many things, right? So color therapy helps people to calm down, to feel good, and all these things are, researched and it is coming up. But in India, as an Indian citizen, we see colors everywhere.
Colors everywhere, yeah.
If we don't use them, I feel कि अरे ये कैसा लग रहा है.
Dull or boring, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the idea behind it.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
First of all, your work is really, really commendable. Like we've been to a lot of sessions and we've seen people do a lot of stuff in hardcore design, like industrial design or something. But I like how your medium is really, it's a little different because you use a lot of creativity in it. It's just the creative part. It's a very, very creative part instead of a technical part, wo thoda hai, but then it's a lot of khud ka sochna, getting inspired from things, etc. So that's really, really, really good. I am into films as well. I like filmmaking. I am working on a short film where I'm the actor in there. Except for my film medium is not animation, it's camera work. So, okay, my question is how I'm not into art. I'm not into visual art. Fine arts, sketching, paintings. I'm not into it. So, I am interested. I have an open mind. कि मुझे सीखना है. I want to learn them, but I really don't know where to start. I just take a pencil. I start sketching, but I'm not sure where to start. Pencil pen ke alawa. And you, as you said, you used a lot of mediums. Brushing. I'm still not sure. Sorry. So, could you please let me know what mediums I can use for colors?
See, the first thing, if like when to start is, there is no time to start. Whenever you feel like starting, you should start. Okay? And the first thing that I would recommend you is, instead of drawing in singular sheets, try to maintain a sketchbook. कुछ भी बनाओ उसमें, ठीक है? Just do it. In order, but when you during the end of the sketchbook, you will feel and you will see all your previous works, and then you will see, अरे मैं ऐसा बनाती थी और अभी मैं ऐसा बना रही हूँ. That will also encourage you to make more. Okay, so this is one thing that you should do. And secondly, you can start off with brush pens and oil pastel, because these are all very handy and easy mediums to try. Then you can go for watercolor and acrylic and oil painting and all this fine arts medium. But these are like, we use brush pen even for typography and writing, right? So it is very, very user friendly. It is almost like writing with a pen. So if you go for that, I think it will be easier for you to start coloring, and it is a very nice blendable medium. So you can try that, as well as oil pastel is always handy because it is not messy. So these are the two things I will recommend you. Hello. Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to ask you that if you didn't get into filmmaking, which other field do you think you would be interested in?
I really like stories, so I wanted to, maybe I would have become an archaeologist, because there also I could have explored and investigated and found out those stories some way or the other, and that somewhere art is also related there. So yeah, I feel archaeologist would have been a good thing. And I like history also, so because of that I could have done that.
Ma'am, did you join NID as a UG student or a PG student?
Oh yes, I have joined NID as a PG student, and during my bachelor's I have done a multimedia with specialization in animation from St. Xavier's College, Calcutta. And there it was like a mixture of all the things, from live action filmmaking to photography to a little bit of journalism, mass communication, animation. So सब कुछ सिखाया मेरे को उधर. और then after that I realized कि let's take up animation as the thing, because I was really interested from beginning. And after that I did my master's in animation from it.
I have a question. What do you think was the hard part in the entrance?
Hard part during the entrance. My first paper, the one that I gave in Calcutta, was good. I didn't expect it to be good, because before that I have given the CEED examination, IIT. That didn't go that well for me, because there were a lot of maths and all these things, and I was really bad at it. So it didn't work out. And when I gave the NID paper, I was like, wow, this is a question paper, but it was really nice. I wouldn't say it like that, but it was a good question paper to solve also. So the first question paper was good. And after that, yeah, at that point of time, I was very bad with interviews. So studio test also went good. So they made us listen to a soundtrack, and we have to make a storyboard out of that soundtrack. So it was good. But interview part, I was very bad with interviews at that point of time. So I thought it will be really challenging. And it was a little challenging because Shekhar Mukherjee was there, and there was a psychiatrist. As you all know, NID interviews has a psychiatrist and all these things. So yeah, that was really difficult. But after that, yeah, so it went a little, I don't know. Yeah, so I think the interview part was a little challenging. But the rest of the two things was good. Like that was like, baat nahi karne ka hai, to theek hai, you just draw it.
I wanted to ask you about your experience on painting the 50 feet wall. I mean, how did you actually do that? It's quite high.
Yeah, it was so we painted two walls simultaneously. So the first wall, so this was a project in Gujarat, and the first wall was in a village in Gujarat, and that was a little smaller than that. So we had to climb on those bamboo racks that that all other people use while coloring your house from outside. So I climbed on those. That was like, okay, somehow I managed to do that. After that, the next wall, we had those lift kind of things where you have to get up, and Then you press the button, the lift goes up, and then you paint and you come down after pressing the button. So there were like 2 elevators simultaneously working, and it was on air, so it used to clash together, and we are always like this. So after 7 days of that work, whenever I am walking or talking normally, I'm like this. It is happening to me, okay? And I slowly got that motion. Shuruat mein it was very difficult to paint because you're always like this, and you're on top of somewhere. Even if you fall down and die, nobody is going to save you. तो वो शुरुआत में एक दिन तो डर के मारे कुछ कर ही नहीं पाया मैं. फिर from the next day things started becoming better, and I understood how to use that hilne wala motion to make my work better. So yeah, that was a really nice experience. And on air, the lifts are crashing, so it was like, yeah.
Good, yeah. Sukanya. So her name is Sukanya, but we pronounce it like Sukanya. And but I think I was there when this batch came in, and Sukanya and her friends, and I've seen her work like live. She painting and doing things, and that old school stuff is there. Even though she has painted her hair and all those things, the ink has come out from the sketchbooks to her hair, I guess. So that's the love for color that you can see. But at the same time, you also, because I know her personally, so I also know that she is like very old school type, stubborn kind of nahi ye haath se hi hona chahiye type. And then, but I think that is also needed, because everyone going to the digital media, and then who is going to hold the brush then, or who is going to use the color palettes, or who is going to use the colors, real colors or different mediums. So I think she is doing a great job in that way. And as she said that she found her style, and you also saw as like whatever she has shown, those 3 sketchbooks, that would be the minimum, I guess. And there would be a lot many more sketchbooks that she has. And I think that kind of practice will take you to find your style. And it is not like, you're practicing to find the style. The style will find you eventually. So don't run after finding the style, because it will come after you. As she said, that skills are more important than finding things. They will eventually come to you. But consistency and doing the same thing again, and so she's like, there's like a small milestone that she has achieved, and there are many more to go, and many more milestones to cross, and she will definitely do it. So Sukanya, thank you for coming on Stupid Questions. I hope everyone is enlightened, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I would like to say that we all can do it, and if I have done it, then you can also do it. It's just that you have to do it every day with a little bit of discipline, and don't think you are working, think you are just playing with colors or something like that. Just change whatever you're thinking, and then I think it will be easier for all of us to be better. And yeah, thank you so much. It was really nice talking.
Yeah. To end it, don't do art for Instagram. Do it for yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram is a part of it.
Instagram is a part of it. Yeah. So thank you everyone for attending, and thank you Sukanya for coming on Stupid Questions.
Thank you, Vishal sir. Thank you, Sukanya. This has been by far the most insightful sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you someday.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Yes.